Hi, it's Lindsay with the Essential Calendar. Welcome to day 4 of the Summer Bucket List Challenge. Today's theme is version 1 is better than version none. So I want you to take out your planning worksheets, and if you haven't printed them yet, just slip away and print them right now and come back. And then just look at it. Don't get overwhelmed. Fill out as much as you can, but don't feel like you have to have all of it done and like all of it just dialed in order for this to be successful. So oftentimes if we can just get started, the finishing up can come. But if you don't ever start, then you're never going to make that trip to Glacier National Park. So take your most challenging activity. So the hardest one on your list of the 4 that you chose with your family during your conversation, and then work through what that activity is going to look like. And we have all kinds of different details on here, from travel time to time needed to enjoy the location or activity. We recognize that not all the time spent at the activity is going to be enjoyed. There's probably going to be complaining or whining or frustration or all of that. But in an ideal situation, how much time would you like to have at the zoo or at the river, wherever it is that you're going? And then what do you need to research in order to make the activity happen? I know last year our family did go to Glacier National Park, and we needed to research like what activities there were in the park, what activities there were nearby, and then kind of the best time of day to do the different activities, and what the more kid-friendly ones were, so we could do those during times when the kids had more energy, as opposed to trying to wrestle them up the mountain when they're exhausted. Although we did do that a couple times, but anyway, then what equipment you're going to need for the activity, and then do you own it, can you rent it, buy it, purchase it from Amazon, local store, just some details, like just get it down. And then the cost, so you can include like a per person entry fee cost if that's the kind of activity you're doing. If it's more of like a vacation type trip, you'll need to include a bit more like in terms of cost, and you might just want to total it all up. And then do you need a reservation? Have you made the reservation? Do you need a backpack? A lot of the things on our bucket list are just daytime activities, so you might just be half a day somewhere or a full day. So do you need to have a backpack? And if so, what needs to go in it? If you can take the time to just list that out now, the day is going to come and you're going to feel much less frazzled and much more organized, because you just have to pull out this sheet and be like, oh yeah, I need my sunscreen, water bottle. I was going to bring, my phone and the extra charger in case my battery dies or whatever, so that I can take pictures of the kids while we do this. And then realistically, how soon can all the planning and preparation be accomplished? So given some of the larger activities, what is it going to take for you to make reservations, for you to finish any research that's needed? What's going to take for you to save up that amount? How soon can you make this happen without straining? And so sometimes it's going to be, I could do this next week, and great, maybe you're doing like the double dutch and you're going to just order some jump ropes off Amazon and do a summer kickoff double dutch party, and that's going to be your first bucket list item. But if you're trying to plan a vacation to like a national park or to a beach, you might need a little more time to save and prepare. So realistically, if that's a few months out, you're going to look at the end of your summer and kind of decide which dates you have the kind of space that you need. So you take all the info on here, like travel time and then time needed to enjoy. So if I'm going to go to the beach, it's going to take me more than 5 hours. I want to be there a couple days. So I'm going to be looking at least 4 days of a trip. So I need to check out my calendar and look for a space in a few months from now, because that's how long it's going to take me to get ready for that one, when I have 4 days. And so with our calendar, it makes it super easy because you have the whole summer laid out at a glance, and you can just see when you have space. There are times when we've had people who have gotten started and so enthusiastic about our calendar that they've tried to fill up every space. So that's not the point, actually. The point is to leave yourself some open spaces and to know when you're overscheduling also. So you want to try to fit it in when you're looking at the possible dates. You want to try to fit it in at a time when it's maybe not right after you came back from another trip or right before the day your kid has to be at a camp. But try to fit in those 4 days at a time when it's really going to work well for you. And then our last question is, this will be a fun way for our family to spend time together because. So inevitably in family summer fun, there's contention, right? There's friction and tension. We're out of our routine. We're doing things we're not used to doing. We're having adventures and learning new things. And so a lot of times that can cause some frustration, especially for kiddos. I know last year we went to Glacier, my sisters and I went, and we took a bunch of our kids, and a whole bunch of kids. Hiking all day makes for really tired kids. And so one day they just kind of all like decided they were gonna strike, and they were like, we are not hiking anymore. So we all kind of powwowed and ended up taking them to a lake, because we decided, well, one of the reasons we were doing this was a fun way for our family to spend time together, because we just wanted them to create cousin memories, and they could do that at a lake. They could also do it on the gorgeous mountains of Glacier National Park, but they can do it on a lake, and they were happy. And so even sometimes, like, the best laid plans don't always turn out the way that we want them to, or we intend that they will. But it's also good to have flexibility, because when those moments come, if you can be hitting this thing and you have to adjust your plan or make some last minute changes, if you can still be doing the thing you intended to do, then it was worth it. So take a few minutes, fill out the sheet to the best of your ability. And again, if there are holes, it's better to have holes than to just set it aside and be like, I'll do it later. So have holes in it. And then if you have the energy and time, go to your other 3 activities, and they're going to feel like a piece of cake after the first one, the challenging one. And then take these sheets and set them aside. And then you're going to tomorrow get another step, and we're going to pull it all together. See you then.